Hello, welcome back to The Lost Archives, episode 16, part 2, or the stream, part 2 if you're joining us live. Our heroes have just headed back towards the wagons after a little bit of an interesting experience with an elk, and have now travelled to the town of Shaken Cairn as part of the caravan. We last left off as Wiltix had approached and spoken to a gnome called Jamna, and had shared some information with her and had gleaned some information from her as well. And we're going to join straight back in as she leads you out of the tavern, the Ogre's Axehead Tavern. As you leave the door, she sort of begins walking around the corner of the tavern, looking both ways across the road, sort of seeing if there's anyone around. And it seems like the village is fairly deserted. The main streets aren't particularly busy at this time. As you come round the corner, she grabs you by the throat, Wiltix, pushes you up against a building, and immediately has a knife pointed at Mira and goes, "Right, what are you fuckers doing? Huh? Who do you work for? Are you with them? Are you with the cult? Tell me now. Come on."
I'm not with any cults.
Why do you fucking ask so many questions about them, huh?
Well, because you clearly are looking for them.
I'm going to ask this one more time before I cut your testicles off. Who are you fucking working for, huh? Looking at you, Wiltix.
Look, we're kind of working for ourselves. We're following. I don't know if I wanted to see. It's not deception if I say that I'm working just for a bloke on his wagon, is it? Like,
you're not lying, but you are hiding information. You know what she wants. You know what answer she wants.
yeah, I know. No, I'll say that we're literally working with a separate wagon. I heard them say the name when I went past last night and went to try and investigate to see who they're working for, and that name got brought up. So they got distracted though when a black carriage came and collected some goods from them and went back off.
Mira, do you add anything to this? Do you have anything further to say to this?
It's just squeaking. Just
squeaking. Make me a deception check, Simon.
Oh, it's not really deception.
It's not deception. It's not. It's not deception per se, but you are keeping things out of the story.
5.
Mira's just like, Wiltix, I thought you were going to be subtle.
As you share all this, Wiltix, she looks at you and lowers the knife a little bit, not pointing towards your crotch as if to cut off your testicles, more lowers it as in a slightly less threatening way.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. Okay. So what you're telling me is that you happened to cross the name of someone I'm supposed to be investigating. You happened to cross... Oh, sorry, she wasn't British. She was Australian. That's right, sorry. You just happened to cross the name of someone I'm investigating. Just happened to cross all this information, all this useful stuff. And you just sharing it openly in the middle of a goddamn street with a stranger who you don't know, who's threatening to cut off your testicles. Have I got this right? Is that what you're doing?
What you're doing, Wiltix?
Right, I shared it inside the bar.
Yeah, but you've just also told me about a black carriage. I mean, that is information I know what to do with.
Well, you seem friendly.
I just threatened to cut off your balls. What is wrong with you two?
We're interns?
Make me a deception check, you liar.
Fuck.
Go on, make a deception check. Let's see it.
Oh,
10.
no.
That's not,
10.
It's not the worst.
Yeah.
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 Oh, what?
Interns. Look, you two are going to start being straight with me. There's going to be problems, alright? Now, who are you working for? Are you with the Gauntlet? Are you with I don't know who you're with. Who are you working for? Like, you're the shittest spies I've ever seen. You're not with the Harpers. I know that for a fact. You must be with the Order of the Gauntlet.
That would cut deep. That would cut real deep.
Mira just kind of droops a little bit. It's just like, oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
We're with the Gauntlet. Yes.
Fucking it. Why are they sending shit people like you into the middle of this for
because
spying?
we're not meant to be here in the first place. We're mercenaries. We've just been caught up in this whole thing, caught in the middle, right down the line.
Oh, you fucking mercenaries. Yes, right, so you're not here for... Right, no, you're just here for coin. Okay, right, alright, okay. Look, sorry about that. She lets you go, Wiltix, and backs away, puts the dagger back in its sheath, holds her hands up in a very sort of placating manner. Like, alright, sorry, I might have come on a bit strong there, guys. Sorry about that. You don't know how to trust in this line of work, alright?
Are you a mercenary yourself?
No, not a mercenary, no.
Do you know? Do you know Sorceress?
She's with the Harpers, right? Yeah, no, I've heard her name before. Yeah, I know her.
So who are you with then?
Oh, just with a sort of underground group, you know. Just no one special. Just doing my own thing.
What's their name?
Yeah, you don't need to know their name.
Well,
all we need to know is what side you're on.
Yeah, I really fucking hate the cult. I'm here. So the group I work for, they are interested in just going through, just taking out the cult, stopping them, torturing them, finding out what's going on. I figured that we might be able to do something a bit less bloody. Just take it a bit slower.
Can I make a look to see whether she has any symbols or holy symbols?
Yeah,
or...
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'd say, yeah, investigation perception check. You can choose.
Okay.
Hockey. 14. No, she has no symbols at all. There is no markings, no symbolism, nothing. She has no markings of any note on her person.
Neutral party then, shall we say?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, neutral. Yeah, that's me.
so now that we've shared a little, do you want to share a little bit more? Tell us a bit more about the, or if you know about the Black Carriage or other
We could
things.
share to our mutual advantage.
Mm.
No, I'm pretty good. I think I've no, I'm okay.
Found that
go on.
working in numbers is helpful in a group.
Yeah, but you guys are really obvious, and I'm supposed to be a bit more subtle, you know, just a little bit more invisible. You guys are really, like, you stand out. You stand out, she points at you, Mira. Just because you, and she points at Wiltix. I mean, you just talk about this sort of stuff really openly. Like, what are you doing? You really need to check yourself, mate.
I only talk about openly in Gnomish. No, it's...
Yeah, but you do know what people speak. Like, it's not just gnomes who speak Gnomish. Like, there's magic that lets you understand stuff.
Oh, interesting. I should try and learn that.
There's a spell. It lets you comprehend languages. I think it's called...
Comprehend languages?
Understand languages. Oh, comprehend languages. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. No, fair enough. Well, I mean, look, the offer still stands. You could be part of our wagon, but you'd have to share with us the information, obviously, to so we can help guide with where you're going.
Oh, you really stand out. Look, I know I said yes to the offer before, but I think I'm going to go with another group. Sorry, guys. Like, we can chat and all. Like, and I will say hi on the wagon, but I can't really be seen to be too associated with you in case, like, your ridiculously, like, obvious stuff that you do comes back to me and I get discovered. So, but thanks, but no thanks, I think.
Think of it this way. We attract trouble, so you're going to get information quicker than you would normally.
Yeah, but I'd much rather do it from a distance, like spying on you guys and learning what like people are saying to you. Like, look, if you guys are happy to have me along, great, but I'm going to be hiding like most of the trips and no one can see me, because if I'm with you guys, I need to be fucking invisible.
You're pretty good at not being seen.
Are you? Like...
He's better... He's, yes, seen and not heard is Wiltix's motto, or rather should be.
Yeah, because I would have said that he's heard and seen, like, quite loudly for both, if I had to make a...
While she's talking to Mira, can I do a sleight of hand to try and take the note out of her
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
This is going to end
It's not
terribly.
going to go well.
No, it's not.
This is not. Oh,
As
I'll use my
your
inspiration.
hand Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
you can
good
use your
idea.
inspiration. Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Oh, better.
Ooh, nobody knows the troubles I've seen. 11. As you go to reach in, immediately, like, there's a flick and suddenly the dagger's back at your throat. She hasn't even turned around. And as she continues talking to Mira, it's like, take your hand away or I'll cut it off, alright? And then continues talking to Mira with the knife at your throat, Wiltix.
Blink.
Ah. Do I want to get into a fight?
I don't know.
Mira, you finish what you're saying, and then I'll decide. While you.
Mira puts her silver side towards Gemna and her red side towards Wiltix, and just kind of goes, "Look,
Stop.
listen,
In the name of love.
listen. He's not the most subtle, but he gets the job done. We've come very, very far. We have seen what the cult can do, and we know exactly what they're going to be doing next. You may not think that we are competent, but we are well connected. We're allies."
Look, I'm happy to work with you, but I can't be seen traveling with you guys on a caravan. Like, we can chat and stuff, and like occasionally we can talk. Like, just looks like we're talking to random people on the journey, but like, I can't be seen traveling with you lot. You're so obvious. Are you traveling with others? Is it just you two, or are there more?
Very subtle, the other ones. Very, very subtle.
Are they? Make me a deception check, Mira.
I'm beginning to think. I'm thinking about Gloria, and I'm thinking about what she said about the group. I'm like, oh no.
Could we describe Emeric or Azure as subtle?
21.
21.
Nice.
She does believe you that the others are more subtle, even though you're so obviously lying to us.
It's just that Mira has such confidence in the group. Yeah. Well, listen, if we're going to be working together, then maybe we should be able to contact each other. Is there a code that you would like to use?
If you come up and say, oh, hello, my name's Mira, what's your name? I'll know that you want to talk to me.
But if there's trouble, or if we find something...
Subtle.
Call out, like, help, or gosh, or...
Spy, you're not very subtle. There's these, there's codes and... No?
No, there are, but I just don't trust you with them.
Okay. Mira
Well, all right, let's come up with a code. All right. If you get this will be a little bit harder for you, scaled one, but no, Wiltix, if you put your hands together and blow into your thumbs, you can make a bit of like a hooting noise, like a... Do that if you need help. How about that, hey?
Yeah, sure thing. Mira, are you happy with that?
Do that with my out.
All right, cool. I'm pleased we got that sorted out. I'm gonna go try and join on with another caravan. But look, we can chat and things like that. But
Listen. Give us a chance. Maybe we can steal something. Help somehow. Give us any information you can, and we can take advantage of it in our own style.
sure. All right. Cool.
Can I be persuasive?
Yes, you can. Go on.
Nope.
So what? Just so that I know, what are you trying to achieve with this persuasion check?
I'm trying. I want to try her to give us something to kind of either prove ourselves or just to give us any information about the cult that we might be able to kind of exploit and wheedle our way into it a little bit.
Look, I just don't think you lot are the lot to be sneaking in and infiltrating. Like, you really stand out.
Are you really infiltrating by yourself?
I'm not completely by myself, but yeah, sort of.
You look completely by yourself at the moment. Is there someone else with you?
Yeah, that's how good we are. That's how you stay stealthy, mate. You've got to learn this skill.
Wait, this is an out of character. Yeah. I'm not there.
Yep.
She's talking about being stealthy while she was literally looking at the document in a crowded bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of character observation.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say she wasn't a hypocrite.
Yeah. All right, continue. Sorry.
Look, you might think that you're stealthy. You might think that you're very sly. But if they catch wind of you when you're out and you're by yourself, you're going to need other people to be on your side. And honestly, all you've said at the moment, we've shared things with you. You've shared essentially nothing with us. If you want some of our protection, if shit hits the fan, then I think you should really share things with us.
All right, fine. You've made your point. Look, I work for a group. I'm not at liberty to discuss their name or who they are, but we want the same thing. We want to stop the cult. We want to stop the Order of the Dragon. Like, what they're up to is messed up shit, and it's going to break the world. So we're not so keen on that, Like, we don't really want to encourage that sort of behaviour. So we are looking to stop them. All right. We have an alliance with the Harpers. We've got different ways of doing things than the Harpers, but we've agreed to work together for the moment to stop the cult.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Don't trust
anyone.
17.
She does not appear to be lying. Everything she says, she's not giving any body language of deception or... Yeah, you find her very compelling and very trustworthy.
Okay, then.
If there's one thing we're good at, it is giving aid where when we're not really needed. So, if you do need aid, we will be there.
Cheers. Look, same goes for you lot. If you get in trouble, I'll keep an eye out, keep an ear to the ground. If there's any trouble coming your way, I'll give you a heads up. How about that? That's what I'm best at.
Sure.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you guys on the caravan heading out the next morning.
I won't see you. We didn't see anything, right?
Oh, you getting it, love? There you go. That's a bit better. Much better. Who are you?
I mean...
No. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know who I am. What is me?
This sounds like a really esoterical style questioning. I don't really want to be around for that. I'll see you guys later. And unless you say anything else to her, she begins walking away.
Did she want a business card, Wiltix? Is that what she was asking? Did I miss that? Should I have given her my business card?
Look, she's clearly not impressed with this anyway. I don't think she's going to be joining us. But
I just got confused by that last question a little bit.
Honestly, I didn't understand any of it. I was just trying to be friendly.
Is that what you were trying to do?
Partially.
See?
Poor Wiltix.
Oh.
I don't know. There was some chemistry. Between those two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I give
Must
up.
admit, it did get me going a little bit when she was... Yeah, anyway.
Asking you if you were single.
No, when
asking if she's single and then pinning me up against the wall.
Yeah, I wondered that.
It's kind of like the Umbrella
Alrighty.
Academy choking.
Oh
Almost
my
there.
Jesus, we're moving on. Moving on. While that's happening, I'm moving. That's it. No more screen time for Wiltix. And
He ruined
here for the podcast. Azure and Emeric. While this filthy behaviour is going on, what are you guys doing? Filthy.
So Emeric had wandered away from camp. Actually, he really likes to sort of sit under trees with his halberd entwined, he's holding it and it's up above his head. He's sort of leaning on it and on the tree, and he's just looking up into the sky and looking at the stars and stuff like that, and sort of in deep thought and contemplation at the moment.
Yeah. What sort of things for the listeners at home and the viewers? What sort of things is Emeric thinking?
So, being frank, he's a bit conflicted about seeing Azure turn into sort of like a godwoken, or sort of the celestial being, and it's sort of shake him because he doesn't, has not had a good time with the gods. So he's actually a bit conflicted at the moment in his head. He's thinking if he wants to continue journeying with the party.
Oh, okay.
because he's not sure.
Yeah, fair enough. And Azure.
Ooh, okay. Well, not knowing any of what's going on in Emeric's head.
I don't think anyone knows what's going on in Emeric's head.
Yeah. I kind of stayed back to keep an eye on the cart and keep an eye on the other cultists, but also to really ponder how to broach this topic with Emeric, because clearly I think I would have noticed that he's walked off and has not quite been the same since.
No,
since the
I'd say
revelation.
yeah.
Yeah,
Passive insight spots that.
his whole night would be, he would have jumped at the chance to go into the bar and have a drink and get rowdy and stuff, but he's not.
Yeah, and so in seeing that and understanding through our previous conversations and his whole path in life up to this point, I think I'm just kind of pondering how to not convince him, but bring the subject
least,
up. So
start a conversation.
I suppose I'm kind of giving him some space and time to when he wants to talk about it, but I will give him a little bit more time and then maybe go up and talk to him in a typical Azure/Andrew way. I need to make sure everyone's feeling okay.
Yeah, nice. When the character and the player become one.
Yeah, that's right.
While you're doing that, Azure, Owen, the orc merchant, who's parked his wagon next to yours, sort of comes on over and sits down next to you and looks out as the sun begins to set over the horizon. And you can see up close, all of these intricate tattoos across his body that show various events. There's a large wave at sea washing away this ocean-going city, basically pushing it away. You can see a depiction of the goddess Melora rising from the oceans with a storm behind her, basically like blowing away these monstrous sea creatures that are attacking a village, this floating village. You can see all sorts of these like depictions of the myths and legends of the Orcish people and the individual history of this individual as he sits next to you.
Your heritage and story that has brought you here is quite incredible.
It's a tradition. Oh, sorry, that's Scottish. Let me try that again. I've got to do. Hang on, I've got to get the voice in my head. All right, here we go. It is a tradition to have the markings of my people and our history across our skin. It's a gift from the goddess Melora to remember who we are. Our kin, the orcs who followed Grummush, forgot who they were. They have no knowledge, no stories. And therefore they have no understanding, no future.
Your people and your heritage are as strong as the ocean itself.
Aye.
It's incredible.
It's very true. We are as strong as the ocean, but as fierce when roused, and as calm and gentle. Calm and gentle when treated right.
Well, it's a beautiful sunset that we have here on land, but I can imagine you'd want to be out of the sea.
I was just thinking that, looking across the fields of grass. It does remind me a bit of the seaweed fields back home. I haven't
How long has it been since you've been home?
23 years. Quite a time.
Why, that is a long time.
I miss it. I wish I could go back.
What has kept you from home for so long?
I'm no longer welcome amongst my people across the city. I made some mistakes as a youth and may have involved a wee bit of piracy. And now my people no longer welcome me on the floating cities. I forgot who I was. That's why I have this. And he turns around, and across his left arm, in a very similar style but slightly less intricate, is his story. You can see him as a child, a depiction of him as a child growing up on the ocean, learning to sail. You can see him as a young man spending time with these very evil depictions of other orcs and humans, and then sort of being taken in, and it sort of paints him as a little bit originally as an innocent, and then over time he begins to take on the qualities, these like jagged features. The tattoo takes a full dark center rather than having this sort of spiral clear overlay, it begins to sort of fill in the blank sections. And then eventually you see him being tossed out into a small coracle, a small little dinghy, after a raid on the city goes wrong, and then arriving on land. And then over time, as he has been doing these deeds and working, you can see that his form is gradually starting to go back to how it was before, this non-coloured in form with all the beautiful intricate spirals that make up the internal skin.
Wow.
But it's not completely done yet. There's still a large section across his heart, which is completely black still. The depiction of him, yeah. Yeah,
there's lots of story to be told.
Yeah, very, very symbolic, very... a lot of imagery in the Orcish culture. It's very, very symbolic and very image evoking.
I quite like it. Yeah,
thank you. One day, when I have proven myself, I will be back. Not this day.
But we all have paths to tread. The paths ahead of us are not going to be easy, but well, I hope one day you find home, Owen.
That's
me
Andrew.
too.
Clap. I'm clapping. Slow clapping. Amazing. I get it.
Are you doing a Hobbit reference?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. He's already got inspiration, right? Give him another.
Give that man another one.
No, you can only have one. It is about this time where you see Wiltix and Mira returning back from the market. If you guys didn't have anything you wanted to do for the evening, the late afternoon evening, we can skip ahead a little bit to dinner if you like, just for the interests of keeping the story moving.
Is that with the whole group? Is that with the caravan group? Okay, yeah. I have something that I'll come back.
Oh, okay. As you guys are sitting down having your dinner, you can see that the cultists are setting up their area as well, a little bit like amongst the caravans, but still slightly separate too. It's very subtle, but the way they position their wagons and the way they position their tents is so that it looks like they're joining in and they're part of the group, but it allows them a little bit of privacy. Mira, what did you want to do?
Been just itching to try out, the confidence that the Harper's had in her, and is going to try and sneak over and try and listen to what the cultists are saying while they're distracted with dinner.
Oh boy. Alrighty. Let's have ourselves
put on her disguise kit. So she's going to paint her scales black.
Yep.
So now she looks like a black dragonborn.
Okay.
And yeah, she's going to try.
I would say you can use so with the disguise kit and with all skill checks and things like that for this sort of stuff. So when you use kits in D&D, I like to allow the players to tell me what sort of skill they're using. So for example, with the disguise kit, actually no, I'm not going to use disguise kit because I want Claire to come up with a good one. So for example, with cooking, if someone was going to use cooking utensils, I would say a good example of I want to use dexterity, so I'm going to prepare a meal that is very technically complex in terms of cutting and shaping and things like that. Or I'm going to prepare a meal that is a very difficult recipe and requires very precise timing. That's an intelligence check. So I like to do that with skill checks so that characters and players can use these sort of tools with abilities that they're a bit more proficient in. So Mira, what ability are you using for your skill check?
So she's going to do performance.
Yep. So it's going to be a charismatic. Yep.
Yeah, to try and just get the what is it, the knight. She's going to. Yeah. I am the knight. That's what she's going to say mutter to herself as she looks in the mirror. She's like, I am the knight. Okay. I am the knight.
Okay. Yeah. And is there a particular dragonborn from your past that you're basing this character off of?
Maybe a very slinky sort of black dragonborn. Maybe she met once, who she thought was a bit of a badass and kind of looked up to. But she was always, picked first for sports and running and
Yeah, obviously. Okay, absolutely. I would say that you can make a performance check. So you're proficient in disguise kit? No, you're not proficient.
No, I get a +1.
Yeah,
because
so it's just your charisma +1. Exactly. Yeah, so Gloria gave you a bit of a hand.
18, 19.
Oh my god.
So it'll be so rather than a performance check, it's the charisma check that you rolled. So that's a 14 plus 1. Because it's not because the way it works is it's not a skill check per se. It's more of like the flat ability score. So your charisma is what's your charisma plus?
Charisma plus 4.
Oh no! In that case, yeah, 19. Sorry, I thought you were proficient in performance checks, but you're not. Sorry, carry on. It is a 19 then. You roll a 19. You do an incredible job. The silky sheen. You do first a matte color, and then you actually have a gloss finish to actually make the scales shiny and reflective that you've painted over again to give them this illusion of depth and of a shiny surface. It is an incredibly well done job, and you actually think this is going to last for a couple of days. The way you've set this up.
Oh, good.
If you wanted to keep this disguise as a black dragonborn going.
Yeah, she would.
Combined with your hoods that you were given, the cloaks that you were given by the guild, yeah, you're feeling pretty stealthy.
Yeah, Mira has her own theme music as she kind of makes her way over. She's just
dun 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 dun.
Are you doing like flips and like crouching and
yeah?
Make me a
just
stealth check
more like creepy,
with
more like
advantage.
Pink Panther, like doo doo doo.
Oh no! All right, make me a stealth check with advantage, Mira.
Okay.
Oh boy, 4, 10,
and 10. 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that.
10. As you begin slinking round, all sneaky lizard-like, you begin moving past the caravans and the tents. And as you get round the corner, you can see that there are a number of these humans and half-elves and halflings and dwarves who have set up a bit of a watch. And as you approach, one of them looks up, this human, and sees you and goes, "Oi, what's your business here? Who are you? What are you doing here?"
No business. I am just here to check on everyone, making sure everyone has enough for dinner. Yes, I'm the caterer. Yep.
"Oh, we thought you might have been with us, but if you're the caterer, we're fine. We have enough food. You may move on."
Very good, very good. All right. She will, and she'll circle around and go, do 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 do.
Take your inspiration. As you do this, a number of them look over and look at you very quizzically. And then one of them goes, a bard of some sort, maybe? And you're just like walking away going, do-do-do-do. One of them will toss you a copper piece as you begin walking away. One of the other one goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't encourage her."
Oh.
I thought it was pretty good actually. Haven't seen anyone do that sort of like farcical movements for quite some time. I thought it was quite impressive.
Mira hear this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So she'll kind of perk up her ears and go, okay. And she'll come over and say, "Do you need someone to entertain? Sounds like you guys are bored."
As the guy who threw your copper begins to chirp up, one of the dwarves puts his hand over his mouth and goes, "Hey, no, we're fine. We're very tired. All of us are very sleepy. We're going to head to bed nice and early. But thank you for your performance. Thank you. Off you go. Bye bye now."
I just kind of do a very quick look behind, just to
yes, of course you can.
Yeah, just see what's going on. Nine. Pretty good, Mira.
9. As you look behind, 2 of them are watching you go. The rest are starting to go and check on the wagons and check on the goods that they've got piled up in their wagons, seemingly a bit spooked by your presence there.
Hope you have an enjoyable evening. And she'll walk away.
Thank you. Don't come again. Fantastic. So.
Damn it. Damn.
As you guys enjoy a lovely long rest, you have another night. Now, is anyone going to be keeping watch overnight, or are you going to let the guards who are with the caravan take watch for you?
I will keep a watch.
Yeah.
At some point.
Would you like to roll me a perception check? 13. the first watch as you look out across the caravan that's been set up next to the town walls. After about 2 or 3 hours, you do hear the sound of wolves howling very far off in the distance, but they don't seem to be too close. Like they're pretty far off. Like the echo from this natural valley does sort of bounce the sound around. You're not 100% sure which direction the howls are coming from, but it does seem somewhat off in the distance. You notice that as the howl goes off, Wiltix sort of shifts and moves about in his sleep restlessly, but not waking up, just moving about in response to these howls in the distance. But the rest of your watch passes with no interest and no events taking place.
Cool.
Is anyone else doing anything?
Alan,
Taking a watch.
Have a quick look at your Discord for a sec.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Is anyone else doing any? Doing anything during that? Is anyone going to take any watches as well?
Yeah, Mira will, and she's trying. She's really trying.
You may roll me a perception check.
14.
As the moons begin to rise high in the sky, you can see Phoebe, and I always forget the name of my second moon. How bad's that? As the moons rise high in the sky, Phoebe is almost full. The other moon, whose name I never can remember, is waxing. It seems like a very quiet, pleasant night. You can see a number of owls and bats flying across the night sky. Occasionally you can hear sort of movement through the undergrowth as various nocturnal animals come out and about, but not too much. Seems pretty quiet. And that's what you see and hear. And who's taking third watch?
Sure, I will take third watch.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
That's an 11.
11. As you're going about, sort of taking your watch, looking around, you can see the guards are starting to switch over their watch as well. You see that the gnome that you spoke to, Jamna, is moving around the camp. Not stealthily, not looking suspicious, not trying to hide, just moving sort of around to keep it a bit of a watch, occasionally nodding to the guards who sort of give her a bit of a suspicious look and nod back, just having a bit of a look over. And as she sees you, she just gives you a little nod and a wave and then continues looking around, just taking a bit of a look as she walks around. This is very early in the morning, like 2-3 a.m. as she does this.
Okay. Do I see her? I mean, she's just obviously looking at all the different wagons as she goes down the caravan, I'm assuming.
Just looking over.
Okay. Do I see anything happening with the cultists up further up?
No, they have their own people on watch, and they've been changing watch as well, same as you guys. But and they also seem to be sort of like looking around, watching her. Her clothes are a little bit different; they're much more plain and common, and she's just sort of looking around. They seem to have clocked her, and they're watching her, but they don't seem too interested in what she's doing.
Okay. Look, I'm not going to go chat with her. So, do I notice anyone else new in the caravan?
What was that, sorry?
Do I notice anyone new around the area as well? Like anyone that's also...
So the bald man who pushed past you seems to have set up with another caravan, another group of merchants. He seems to have set up with them, but it doesn't look like they particularly want him. They sort of pushed his tent to the edge of their firelight. And he looks to sort of be very much on the outs with them at the moment. Okay. And so they're like really the only two faces that I recognise as being new, possibly to the. Okay. Easy. All right. Well, not much else I'll do then. I'll let sit up and watch until it's Emeric's turn. That's it. It's only 3 of you need to do it. That's
cool.
fine.
Done.
As you awaken in the morning, the morning begins as it has the previous 2-3 days. Let's put on... Here we go. As you guys begin having breakfast and sitting down, Owen sort of comes round bringing oatmeal that's been cooked on the main campfire for everyone to eat. It looks like there's a communal breakfast being cooked up, and Owen brings some over to you guys as you wake up slowly. As he sort of hands them out, you guys sit down and start enjoying your morning meal. After a few minutes or so, as you've just started to eat, you hear a psst from behind you. And as you turn around, you see Jamna there. She steps up, looks around to watch the cultists, puts fingers to her lips to shush you, and then takes a bowl of oatmeal out of the hand of Azure. She pulls out her dagger and begins poking through the oatmeal. And then after a few seconds, pulls out an object sort of covered in this oatmeal that looks like a tiny bead, a tiny white bead. She glances over her shoulder, looking in the direction of the cultists, who still haven't really noticed her yet, and goes, "That is a sliver of bone. Curled into a circle." Sorry, she's not Irish. God damn it, why do I always go to Irish? Oh, it's a sliver of bone, curled into a circle so you can swallow it in a mouthful of the porridge without noticing. Once you've eaten that, it uncurls slowly inside of you, exposing needle points that pierce your guts and kill you slowly. I suspect they're probably in all your breakfasts. Let's chat later, hey? She gets up, puts down the oatmeal, hands it back to you, Azure, flicks the bone, flicks the oatmeal off the bone, and then pockets it and begins walking away.
Thank you very much, I suppose.
Well, that spoiled my appetite.
Yeah, thank goodness we have rations.
I'd have to dig through my porridge to see if I can find any the little bones.
Yeah, do you want to make me an investigation check, Wiltix, as you dig through your porridge?
An 11?
11. As you sort of push through, it's very hard to see. Once, like, there's a couple of things that could be the beads, but it's like, or could be just lumpy porridge. You're not sure.
Oh well.
Have a spoonful. Go on.
Yeah, look, it's...
yummy.
I don't see a reason to do that, so no, rations or heading into town to get some food before we head on out.
Yeah. Azure, your passive perception's 15, isn't it?
It is, yes.
After about a minute and a half, as after Jamna has left, two of the cultists appear to be looking in your direction and watching, and then looking away, and then just watching and looking away again.
While I'm eating it, I pretend to eat.
Okay.
And I stand up and I accidentally, I turn to Wiltix and I'm like, make a joke and laugh really heartily and accidentally drop my bowl. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, Wiltix, you made me laugh too hard. Oh, God.
Laughing at me again as well.
Oh, that's so funny. Those gnome jokes.
Oh.
God, I've dropped my fucking oats on the floor. Hilarious. Well, it's rations for me. And then I slap you on the back so you drop yours. Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh.
I was going to eat that, but no, fair enough.
Amazing.
Does everyone else have that? Does everyone else have the oats, like the other people around us?
Yeah, everyone's been served these oats from the main pot.
Who's on the pot?
As you have a bit of a look, it's a human man in his late 30s to 40s. Seems to be stirring away. You don't really specifically recognize him from anywhere. Yeah, it looks to be maybe one of the... You vaguely recognize him from the caravan, but you're not quite sure whether he's with the cult or with just merchants.
Cult that's staring at Azure, were they eating the oats as well?
Yes, they are, yeah. Everyone is.
Can I cast subtly?
Yes.
Prestidigitation.
Yes.
I'm not sure how far this goes, but I would like to create an odor, like an odd odor coming from the oats, so that people will be gagging on them. So then
so that's prestidigitation. You could do that to the main pot.
Can I do it to the main pot? That's fine. Yeah, let's do it.
You can do it to the main pot, but at this point, most people have walked away and have their own food. There's very few people still collecting food from the main pot. You can still do it, yeah.
Can I identify, because Mira would have been kind of mingling and talking with everyone. Is there a guy who's kind of, or a girl that's kind of boisterous or loud and dramatic, sort of someone that I'd kind of recognise? like that sort of character?
Yes. The dwarf who's been travelling with that wood elf, Gelalas, and Limley. Limley is very loud and outspoken. You suspect he's actually slightly deaf, and that's why his volume is so much louder. Is that more what you're looking for, or are you looking for someone who's very boisterous and very energetic and...
It's okay. Can I therefore do the prestidigitation on his bowl to make it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you'd have to get within 30 feet, which you can do. You can sort of suddenly walk up.
Theme music starts again.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, as you walk up and do this thing, Limley sort of takes another mouthful and goes, "Oh, I didn't. If you're gonna do that stuff, don't do it next to me. Come on." Galalas sort of looks at her and goes, What are you talking about? It's not me. It's your oats. They smell a bit rotten." Oh, you wish I had some salted pork. And he tips the oats onto the ground and pulls out some salted pork rations and begins sort of digging into that in return. These bloody oats are disgusting. It's a crime. No one should be eating this gruel. It's foul and it's disgusting.
Mira will kind of nudge like the people around her and go, "Oh, did you hear that? Oh my goodness, did you hear that? Oh gosh, no."
Most people have finished at this point and sort of look at you and go like, it was fine. I had no problems. Yes, it was absolutely a-okay. I had no problems with my food. It was all good. No complaints here. Bloody dwarves.
Okay, so maybe it was just us. It might have just been us targeted. Yeah.
Do we know where Gemna walked to after she walked away from us?
She's wandered back over towards one of the merchant caravans and is getting chummy with them right now.
I mean, and we did see the cultist stare at Azure after he was eating.
Yeah, Azure noticed two of them sort of glancing over at the lot of you.
Okay, so I was just trying to think if maybe she put it in there to make us think that she's helping us out. But, no, fair enough. Alright, well, what do you guys want to
do? Well, I suppose, what did they do once,
what did they do to the reaction?
I dropped it and pretended to drop it on the floor?
They sort of keep glancing over. No real reaction that you notice.
Okay.
To when Limley started making a fuss?
Not really bothered. Looking over, but not any signs of distress.
Is there anyone else that's paying attention?
Not that you noticed. Do you want to make me a perception check, though?
Yeah. The cultists might just be looking at us just in general, but is there anyone else that's kind of acting suspicious or looking around to check what happened?
Yes, there is. I'm sorry, I just took a bite of chocolate as you were asking that question. Yum, 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 yum. It's all right, it's chocolate. So you see a man dressed in a very sort of dark brown robe that covers most of his body, with a very strange woolen cap with ear and neck flaps. He seems to be heading over towards the cult wagons and talking to them. After a moment, they invite him into their camp, and he sits down and joins them.
Interesting, considering that they've let no one come into their camp the whole time.
That's the same guy that we saw at the tavern, didn't you say? The one with the flaps and everything like that, or am I imagining that?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Ah, okay. Interesting. How close is their camp to us?
It's pretty close. It's only 50, 60 meters away. That's not very close. It's 20, 30 meters away.
What's between us and their camp?
A couple of other tents and the main bonfire where people are cooking.
Would there be a way that we could I walk away from where they are? Almost like if there was a wagon between us and them, could I walk around that wagon so that I'm out of their line of sight? Pull my hood up, click my cloak on, and then proceed to walk around them, around towards them.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's pretty easily done.
And I don't want to get too close, but just close enough to be in earshot.
Yeah. So as you flick on your hood and become very hard to notice, you begin walking towards the tents. Very quickly as you approach, you can hear very sort of low talking, muffled and very quiet as people are whispering and talking to each other. And as you get a little bit closer, do you want to make me a stealth check?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh, I might use my inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think I need to make sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
21. That's a bit better.
Definitely good news.
That's a bit better. Yeah, as you begin sort of sneaking around, there's no cries of alarm initially as you begin moving through, and you're able to sort of get close enough that you can hear a little bit of what's going on. You hear a man's voice speaking softly, just talking through, basically saying, "Look, I require transportation, and I was hoping that you might be able to help me here. I have gold, and I can give you lots of gold. I know who you are. I know who you work for, and frankly, I wish to work with you. All I ask is that you help me, and that I am allowed to travel with you." You hear a few moments of silence, and then a voice respond. "You're all right, sure. It's been a while since I met a red wizard, but yeah, you're welcome to come along."
Oh no.
You just what's wrong, Claire?
Right.
Yeah, but we could probably use your help if we run into any trouble. If you're willing to help us out, we'll help you out. I thank you. It's very kind of you. I was hoping to avoid mingling with the other travellers as much as possible. Is there some way that could be arranged? Yeah, look, you can ride with me. I've been keeping pretty out of things. Get yourself some breakfast. It's going to be a long ride ahead. We've got a bit of a journey ahead of us, boys. And after that, it sort of moves into more just various pleasantries, no more information of any note.
I will slowly make my way, slowly and carefully away from their tent.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you make your way back to the main group.
So you're saying the glowing light boy is better spy than Mira? Is that what you're saying?
That's what the dice seem to be saying.
Very, very sad.
It's not on me. This isn't my fault. Okay, yeah. So, when you guys have a bit of a look around for breakfast, you notice someone is missing. Emeric is not present, and there is a note sitting on the chair.
Another note.
A note sitting on the chair. A note sitting on the chair of the wagon that he'd been working with Owen. And as you guys are eating breakfast, Owen brings this note over and puts it down and goes, "Your friend, the tall one, Emeric, he's gone."
Gone.
Do you know where?
He left a note apologizing for his departure, but that's...
I can read it out for you, Owen, if you like.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So we pick it up.
Right?
We pick it up.
He
and
can.
It's like it starts.
You hear it narrated.
In Emeric's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Friends, our journeys depart from each other for now, but I'm sure they will cross again. I have my own path to tread, as Azure says. I'll still be a part of the guild, but I think this is a path I alone must tread. I have a lot of things to contemplate. Farewell for now.
And do you have your character ready, Jared?
Yeah, I sort of have an idea of it. Okay, so guys, basically to give everyone a bit of insight, I think you can all tell that from his experience yesterday with Azure, I was actually planning on, if Azure approached Emeric and tried to speak to him, and depending on how the chat went, he might have actually stayed, but because that never happened, he actually departed. So he's actually leaving the group for now.
Ooh. Okay.
So he's still part of the guild, but he's going to do his own thing. He's a bit shaken by the fact that you are God-woken, or however you want to call it, and he doesn't really want to travel with Azure right now until he gets his head clear and find out what you actually are.
I should also say Jared was planning this before just
Yes.
that second. Then
that was
just
cool.
the
I was like,
perfect. That was the
wow, that
perfect
was-
narrative.
I was like,
Yeah, it was the perfect narrative reason.
that is a narrative. What's it called connoisseur right there.
It was a really good narrative reason that just popped up, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
this
so
worked
good.
out quite
I
well.
was gonna
Yeah.
keep playing Emeric until someone came along and this popped up. So for Emeric, I love playing Emeric, but he's a bit too. The role playing for me is a bit too limited. So I wouldn't mind jumping into another character that's a bit more.
That's the
bit
advantage
more-
of guild.
So
Exactly.
one of the things that I've implemented as part of our homebrew rules is that part of your membership of the guild is when you guys hit guild level 2 or level 5, you can recruit new adventurers. Basically, you guys can have backup characters that you can switch into if your character happens to die, or in this case, if you want to play a different character. And that means that you get a bit more breadth and a bit more depth inside the story. And especially if you're playing D&D just casually, which is what we do outside of this. This isn't casual D&D anymore, but casually, it gives you a chance to explore other characters and explore other classes
Stories.
and things like that. Yeah, and other stories. And look, I really love that. So that was one of the reasons I incorporated that into the guild roles, is that as you hit certain milestones in the guild and certain levels, you can recruit new adventurers. Basically, you can have other characters that you can play, and then they will continue leveling up with your current characters as they'll continue to do jobs for the guild and things like that. So it's a way of
So that's
keeping it
that's the thing I'm looking at. So he's still part of the guild. He's sort of going more of a lone ranger sort of thing right now. You'll probably
I
hear
feel guilty.
stories.
I feel horribly guilty for giving you space.
Honestly,
No,
I was.
no, no, no,
I
no.
honestly
It was
thought.
gonna
I should have
Andrew.
followed my instinct.
Oh,
No.
It's
Andrew.
insufferably suffocating.
No.
Single tear rolls
No.
down Azure's face.
It's funny.
It was always going to happen.
It was probably going to happen, yeah. But like, so he's still going to be around. You can only hear rumors about him probably doing some pretty crazy shit because it's Emeric. You probably hear like a Dark Knight sort of rumors around. Who knows? It's all up to Owen how he portrays him. But yeah, so he'll be my.
We'll figure stuff out together.
Yeah. So he's my backup character. I like Emeric, but yeah, he's a bit too limited roleplay for me. So I'm going to switch to someone else. So yeah, like, keep playing for now. I'm going to send you a quick message, Owen, to potentially bring in the new one.
Are you still thinking of playing the character that we talked about?
Yeah, 100%. I'm still thinking of playing that.
Because
Like
if you
race.
are, you can just bring them in looking like whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Cool. In that case,
I'm going to send you a message though,
Yeah. Okay. Easy peasy.
because I don't want to.
alright,
I don't
yeah,
want
cool.
this to like stun it too much.
No. That's all good. We're not going to go for too
continue.
much longer anyway, so this will be good
Yeah,
because it'll give you a
exactly.
chance to get your character ready to go. But yeah, we'll be wrapping up soon regardless. So yeah, Emeric has departed from the group. As the caravan continues on, after about an hour, the road begins to get rougher and bumpier as you guys continue heading north, now heading up towards the rivers here. And about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the cart has continued moving along, there is an almighty crash from the front of the wagon as one of the carts, a wheel snaps and breaks on a rock. The crates begin tumbling around and one of the crates tumbles free and smashes open in front of you. The wheel is shattered as a result of this pothole in this rock. As the crate hits the ground, cloth and wool spills out, and wrapped around you see items of jewelry, gold and silver pushing out and pooling at the bottom of this broken crate. And as it does so, there's a cry of alarm from those on board this wagon. Wiltix, you recognize this wagon. You did this. This was the wheel that you sabotaged.
Classy.
Good one.
Fantastic.
As people begin reining in horses, other NPCs begin gathering around. Like you see some of the merchants and some of the people who are gathering around looking, going, "Oh, this is good. It's amazing." The cult members are furious. They are pushing people back, like, "Get up! No, this is private. Get over here! No, you cannot look at these things. Move away!" They are pushing them away. A couple of the merchants are sort of looking, going like, It's a very fine piece. Could I speak to you about the price of that piece? I think I could probably buy that off you. Before being shoved away by members of the cult, as they desperately try and pack up, pack up the crate that's been smashed open. What are you guys doing while this happens, Mira, Azure, and Wiltix?
What would we do?
Starting a riot.
How do you start a riot?
Normally I'd get Emeric to punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Is there anything we recognise that was described by Watsy at
Yeah,
priest?
is any of the monk's
priest.
priests?
The priest.
Items
Yeah.
As you have a look, do you guys want to make me a perception check?
He wants to make the check. Oh.
Go with it.
Oh, that's a
boy.
4. Yeah.
Oh.
Help.
No, nothing really stands out. Mostly just bits of jewelry, a couple of fine pieces of artwork, all made of gold and silver, and precious gemstones, and they're rapidly being packed up at this point as the cultists desperately try and hide this stuff away. The guards as the guards start approaching, one of the cult members sort of jumps off the wagon and goes forward and begins sort of being like, "Oh, no, sorry, sir. Nothing to worry yourselves about. We just had a little bit of an accident. One of the wheels is broken. Carry on. No, please, no, don't stop for our benefit. You just keep going. No, go. The guards sort of have a bit of a look, and they do. They go, "All right, there's nothing to see here. Go on, move on." And they begin sort of moving the rest of the wagons around and directing the traffic past this broken, stricken cart. As the cultists are sort of swearing and desperately bundling this up and looking at the wheel and being like, "Fuck me, how are we going to fix this lot? Jesus Christ." They don't say Jesus Christ. Buy the 9. Yeah.
Is there anything we can help you with?
Do you call that out?
Yeah.
One of the sort of merchant-looking people who's here, you know them as the members of the cult, sort of looks up and goes, "No, mate, we're all good, thanks. You keep on going. Don't mind us. You just travel on."
Oh, fine. Fair enough. Well, if you need any help, my friend, we are more than capable of giving you a hand.
Have you got a spare wagon wheel in your cart?
I might
Do we?
actually. I can have a look.
As you have a look through, you do not.
Sadly, I don't.
Well-
But I am proficient with these vehicles. I could give you a hand fixing it.
Yeah, all right. Come on then.
I'm going to use this opportunity to get nice and close and see whatever I can see.
Make me a stealth check. Because I'm assuming you're trying to be stealthy about the interest you're showing in this
Yeah.
treasure. Yeah, 18. Yeah. Every time they sort of look away, you're immediately looking at this gold, like trying to figure it out. At this point, they're pretty much packed most of it up, but you do recognize a piece of artwork marked with the symbol of Pelor, the god of sun and agriculture, that's being sort of packed away. And you think, as you look at it, you're like, "Oh, this could be something taken from the church back in Green Nest.
Okay.
This could be." And that's what you spy.
All right. Do I need to make a check for how well we fix the?
Yeah. So again, you can tell me what sort of check you'd be making to help with this. Are you trying to help like carve or help repair the wooden wheel? Are you sort of pointing out different ways that they could manage with 3 wheels? Like what sort of thing? Yeah. What are you doing? What sort of things are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I'm trying to work out a way that we could maybe cut back the axle and reconnect the wheel properly to avoid the weak spot.
So as you look at the wheel, you can see that it has been sawn through. With your perception check from before and Wiltix's perception check, yeah, you can see that it has been deliberately sabotaged.
Have they noticed this?
You're not sure.
Okay. I don't mention it, and
Yep.
I don't talk about it, but I kind of talk about the ways of how we can like go about reattaching the wheel, and I mean, like I could suggest options for the way they could load the cart that they could go on with 3 wheels.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a persuasion check then. You can make this persuasion check.
Very good.
Sounds like using your words rather than your body. 13.
Yeah.
So you sort of having a bit of a look, you go, look, if you balance the weight a little bit more at the front, you can take some of the load off the back. Even if the wheel's broken, at least you can have it moving and not have the cart tip over. Otherwise, you could send a runner back to Shake and Can and get a new wheel. All very valuable options, all viable options. And they eventually decide to put the broken wheel back on. They grab some sticks from the nearby fields and sort of prop the wheel up. It's a very haphazard job and it can't hold any weight, but as they move all the treasure and these heavy boxes to the front, the cart does seem to move, and they also unhitch one of the horses and send one of their number back to the town to try and fetch a new wheel and catch up with the rest of the caravan as the cart begins moving very, very slowly forwards.
So how many of them are there left?
4 of them on this wagon. There are 2 more wagons up the front that you also have identified as being associated with the cult Wiltix that didn't stop, they just kept moving.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, they did not stop to help their comrades.
Would people want to try and get rid of the cultists on the caravan? Like on this wagon?
Oh, like, do you want me to get rid of, like, kill them?
As in, one of them's gone away. The other cultists... There's only 4 left. The other wagons have taken off already, so it's literally just us and this wagon. One of our friends has disappeared, so we can pin it on him if they die. And that's why he's ran away. I mean...
Well, I mean...
Jesus.
Out of...
I thought Emeric was the bloodthirsty one, but actually it's been Wiltix the whole time.
I am a blood hunter, so...
He's just taking up the opportunity. It's a smart thing to do.
Well, because then, like, you just say that bandits came that were trying to capture Emeric. They took him away because that did happen. And, I mean, we've got one guy that's come back with a wheel so we can get the cart moving. We can offer to help out to get it back to the group. And at least we can try and suss out...
So we just take their wagon?
Well, we would take the wagon with the one other cultist, pretend like, you know, and we can still rummage through the... Yeah. Rummage through their wagon. But anyway, that's a lot of added...
Yeah, this is fun. I like this.
That's
I'm
a lot of
curious to
added
see
game
what you
speak.
decide to do.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? While they're distracted fixing the wheel, Mira jumps in the back of the wagon and tries to start rummaging through it. How about that?
Oh my
Is it a
god!
covered wagon? Is it a covered wagon?
It is a covered wagon. Is that what you do?
Really quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
She's desperate. She's like, I can do this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
As you do this, immediately the 4 sort of people here immediately draw weapons and point them at you, and the one who's been talking to Azure goes, "Alright, no, calm down. Lass, get off the wagon." What are you doing, Mira, at this point as he says that to you?
She's like, I've been sprung. Entertaining.
You're about 3 seconds away from being cut down. Please get off the wagon.
I look at Wiltix.
I'm clearly up for a fight if you're up for a fight, but all I'm thinking is that it's 3 on 4, which, I mean, we could definitely do. We've killed many occultists before. And if we were looking at them, do they look like they'd be quite strong foes, or...?
Make me an insight check.
Oh.
Or perception. Yeah, or perception as you just sort of look at them.
Oh, look, it's a +1 regardless. It's a nat 20.
Natural 20. Yeah, these guys look pretty proficient in combat. The way they're holding their weapons, the way they're standing. One of them actually, you notice very, very quickly, is starting to move his hands in a very clearly arcane style way. It looks like he's looking like he's about to cast a spell.
So with the nat 20, do I think we'd be able to take them on?
You think this is going to be a tough fight. Even with just these guys, you reckon it could be a bit tough. With only 3 of you, yeah, you think it could be a bit of a tough
Damn
fight.
you, Emeric!
yeah, I know, dang it. Mira will say, I'm
yeah.
defending the cart from anyone who tries to attack you while you're out of faction.
Make me a deception check, Mira.
I'm trying.
Oh boy. 6.
Oh no, that's really bad. Do I have inspiration? Yes, I do.
You do. Are you going to spend it?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Oh.
Wait, so this is all.
God, I've been rolling barely.
So is this all happening though while the caravan? So everyone, all the other caravan.
Yeah, they're now
it's
a little bit further ahead. So they're probably about sort of 4 or 5 minutes ahead
Right, so it's only
out of sight.
It's only like you guys in this caravan.
Exactly. Yeah, in this cart. Mira, as you roll a 10. Oh, you lucky shit. Oh, look, it's very kind of you, lass, but we've got this, thanks. Just step down off, and no one's gonna get hurt. We've got this. Like, very kind, but thanks. You can get off now.
Do you get off the cart, Mira?
I get off the cart.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Look, you got a bit of spunk. If you ever want to be appreciated, you can always come and talk to us once we arrive at our destination. How about that, eh?
Where you going?
Oh, we're heading north. We'll see if you survive the journey.
Challenge?
They laugh a little bit.
And him, what can I call you?
Me? I'm Sam. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I am Samira.
Samira, right. Sounds like a name I've heard before. Can't quite place it. Yeah, look, if you're looking for a spot where you'll be appreciated for your special nature, as he sort of looks you up and down with your black dragonborn, as he looks you up and down with your black dragonborn scales. Look, there's a place for chromatics. As he sort of lowers his voice as he says this. If you really want to get your place back in the world, come and talk to us. We'll be in contact if you're interested.
Sam,
that's right.
Red Wizard around?
No, different wagon.
And Sam is a human?
Human.
She nods.
Great. Well, you guys better get on. Thanks for stopping and helping. But look, we'll catch up. You guys head ahead. We'll meet up with the rest of the group later. We'll be fine.
Are you sure that we did see what wares you did have fall out of that wagon. Do you want us to at least protect you until your colleague gets back?
As you mention the wares, he sort of gives you a look and goes, "What did you see?" Huh?
Well, I saw a big box fall out of a big wagon. I'm not exactly too tall to see into that box.
That's right. It's just a box. It's just a wagon. There's nothing to worry about, right? Off you pop. Go on. Get out of here.
Fine.
I think we'll wrap it up there in case you guys change your mind about what you're doing. I think we'll give you guys a bit of a chance to think about 3. So that seems like a good spot.
Think of your choices.
You guys do what you want to do. I'm just here to facilitate whatever choices you make and make it be as enjoyable as I can be. I'm a facilitator. I'm not the master. I'm just the facilitator.
Well, that's what you are.
I'm the dungeon facilitator.
The facilitator of fun stories.
I call myself a dungeon facilitator now. Yep. So that's where we'll wrap up for tonight. Fantastic. We'll be coming back with a new character for Jared. Jared, as soon as you know more about your character, if you send me info and some reference art, I can get some character art done hopefully this weekend for you.
Perfect. That sounds awesome.
And that way we can switch over the overlay seamlessly. Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I've had an absolute blast. What an awesome session. Some really good interactions there. Some great role play. And that was really interesting with the deer. That worked out so well. So there were 12 different options for 12 different options for what you could have rolled on that encounter. This is actually in the module. That is from the module. I didn't change that at all. That is actually in the module. Yeah, I know. Cool. I've changed a lot of stuff, so it is surprising when I do keep something from the module. But that was actually in the module. And as soon as you rolled that, I was so stoked because that was the one that I looked at and I was like, I think I might try and find a way to make this happen anyway, regardless of, like, in the future, like maybe after you've done 1 or 2 roll tables, I might chuck this one in just for fun. But you actually rolled it first up, so I'm stoked. That was really cool with the golden deer.
I think there's also like a domino effect with that one. Because actually had some domino effects like later on.
It's the power of random roll tables, everybody. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We will see you all next time. We may be doing a Phasmophobia stream tomorrow night. I'll keep you posted on Facebook and on Twitter. you may be seeing us online for Phasmophobia tomorrow night. It sounds like Claire is really good at Phasmophobia. She's actually a pro-level ghost hunted. She's not a ghost hunter, the ghost hunts her. So she is going to be joining Jared and I for a Phasmophobia stream tomorrow night.
Ghost
Aren't you, Claire?
hunted.
I'm as good as being a ghost hunter as Mira as being a spy.
Hey, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be great.
It really is. So
gonna be fantastic.
you're going to be doing the spirit box on your own in the dark. You're going to be doing
Yeah,
so
oh my
many
God.
things.
That's
Yeah.
great.
The parabolic microphone just in the school all by your lonesome.
Oh god.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will see you all next time. Farewell.
Alright,
See you guys.
See you next time,
Stay
guys.
safe. Wear a
Stay
mask.
safe. Wear a mask. Goodbye, everybody.